Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going hunting for the best low budget crypto arbitrage opportunities out there. Our budget 220 USDT. That is about 4,000 South African rands, ZAR. That's roughly 205 euros. So great. First things first, we're gonna log in. If not registered yet, make a point to register right now. See link on video comments below. And then you enter your two-factor authentication code here. All right, so basically now we're on the dashboard, and if you haven't bought any up volume, you wouldn't see this. So immediately you log in, go straight to buy up volume. Then you click on buy. Then it tells you that please wait while we generate crypto payment methods for you. Then you say okay, give it some time. All right. Now that you see the payment methods that are available, you can choose any one of these that you want to pay with. These are basically the coins that you possibly are holding. Most people like to pay using USDT TRC20 because it's usually cheaper in terms of the fees. So in this case, we're going to use this one. So we click on it, and then we're going to get the address that we need to pay into. And then here you see the amount that you're supposed to pay in. So it's 15 USDT, and the network that you're supposed to use to pay into this address. Very important here is that you need to pay exactly this amount. So make sure that your fees do not subtract from this amount. If there are fees that subtract from this amount, you need to add on top of this amount the fees that they're subtracting. So for instance, to pay, you just copy this address just like this. Then you go to the wallet that is holding your coins. In this case, it's Binance that is holding ours. So go to Binance and then go to wallet and then fiat and spot and click on withdraw. Then here we select the coin. So the coin that we select is the coin that we select from here. So as you saw that the coin that we selected is USDT. So we come this side and then we choose USDT as well. And then when it comes to the address, you need to select the TRC20 address that you see this side. So the address, you just copy it exactly like this. And then when it comes to the address, you just paste it here. So you paste the address here, click paste, and then the address is pasted on address. And then the network needs to be exactly the same network as this one, which is TRC20. So here you get a list of networks. The one that we're looking for is this one, TRC20, as you can see. So we choose that one. And then here we put in the amount that we're supposed to basically pay. As you can see, if we put 15 here at Binance, what they do is they subtract the fee, which is 1 USDT, and then the receive amount ends up being 14. This is not good enough. So the receiving amount needs to be 15. So we need to add the fee amount on top of the 15, which then becomes 16, and then the receive amount will become this much. And then you click on withdraw and click on continue, obviously, and then it tells you that it needs the authenticator code and the email verification. So you click on get this, and then you put in the authenticator code from your app, and then you put in the email verification code that is sent to your email here. Then you click submit. Once that is done, then you wait a little while on Uphodl. Let's say maybe 15 minutes because it's using the blockchain. So you need a certain number of confirmations. After that 15 minutes, especially if you're using USDT, I'm sure it should have cleared. If it hasn't cleared, give it maybe an hour or two because it's using the blockchain, as you know. Once that is done, what you can do is you can click back here 2 times and then you'll end up here. So when you are here, you can log out first to make sure that when you log into an account that has got enough up volume. So you just log out and then log back in after the 2 hours, or let's say 15 minutes. And then if 15 minutes doesn't clear, give it another few more minutes and then log out and log in again. And that's it. That's basically how you buy UpV. And then we log in to basically now use the account that has got UpV. So you need UpVs to create bots that work very well. And then when you get here, we come straight to signals. On the signals page, this is where we will see all the possible arbitrage opportunities, starting with these ones at the top. This 1, 2, 3, 4. So these ones are basically arbitrage bots that are running. These are currently ran by professional arbitragers on the Uphodl system, and they are shown here as the best performing bots across the entire system. So for instance, we've got one here that is between Bybit and OKX with Luna and USDT. We've got one that is CoinX and OKX, which is Luna and USDT. And then we've got one that is got OKX and Probit, which is Solana and USDT. And we've got another one. So you can see that these two are basically hot, these pairs right now, or during the period that this was pulled. So just to make it easy, in fact, not to make it easy only, but in general, what you do when you are here, you can choose any one of these bots. In our example, I think let's choose this one, which is basically OKX and Probit. And oh, but wait, the percentage is probably small, but it's in 15 days, and then this one is 134 days, and this one is 216 days. So probably what we want to do is want to choose the one that has got the least number of days in terms of like the APY. So here they made 15.66% APY within 51 days. So we basically just need to click to copy. So you just click like this, and then it gets you here. So when you get here, you need to just go make sure that these exchanges, you are registered with them and you've created some APIs that you're going to use to connect to those exchanges using Uphodl. And on top of that, you make sure that you've got some balance of USDT and some balance of Solana. The next step is to register an account with OKX and to register an account with Probit. So to do that, you basically go back to the signals, and when you go back to the signals, you're gonna come and search here for the exchange OKX. So you just search OKX like this, and then you'll see it on the list of exchanges that appears here when you put it on the search tab, and then you just click on it like this. So when you click on it, it takes you to the correct exchange. Remember, there are scammers out there, so you need to make sure that when you create an account, you create an account with the correct exchange that is compatible with Uphodl. So that's why it's important when you're on this here, you search for it and then you click on it from here, and then it will lead you to the correct exchange. So in this case, as you can see, this is OKX, and then you basically just continue reading the instructions and then creating an account with OKX. And then the next exchange, as you can see for this bot that we're copying, it's Probit. So we do the same thing. So we come to search and then we search for Probit like this. And then we find it on this list of exchanges. Then we click on it like this. And then after clicking, it leads us to the sign up page of Probit. And then we follow the instructions, put in email, password, and then confirm, and then register an account with Probit. Follow the instructions. If you have to KYC, KYC. But in some exchanges, you might not need to KYC unless you are transferring volumes of like more than maybe, let's say, like 2 BTCs per day or something like that. But they all have their own regulations. So please just read, and more importantly, read their terms of service as well. That's how you will register the accounts at the two exchanges. And then when you're done registering the accounts, then you need to go and basically log into those accounts. Exchanges go past almost every day. So you need to go and research the exchanges and make sure that you trust those exchanges. And as much as they're offering arbitrage opportunities, they could be like FTX, they can go like bust like in no time. The same with the coins. The coins, you need to go research the coins, you need to trust the coins, you need to use coins that you've got faith in, that tomorrow they'll be fine. So I mean, we've seen this where coins like the old Luna went past like overnight. We've seen it even with the FTT, which is the FTX coin as well. It literally like went from double-digit numbers in price to like single digits. So just make sure that you use coins that you trust, and you use exchanges that you've researched and coins that you've researched. Although they might be showing arbitrage opportunities and might be showing here on Uphodl, it doesn't mean that we endorse them in any way. All right, so one of the ways to research some of these coins and some of these exchanges is to do it on CoinMarketCap. So you can go on to coinmarketcap.com and just basically put in like the name of the exchange here, or put in the name of the coin there, and just get some information about that coin. Look at the history, look at how long it's been around, look at what exactly it does, and all of those things. Basically, just learn more about that coin. So, for instance, if we were to look at an exchange like maybe, let's say, Probit, we would search for it there, and then it would appear there, and would basically click on it, and we can see that the website address for Probit is this one, and it definitely verifies that the one that we signed up on, it's the correct one. You can look at the fees, and you can just basically just read up about it here, and then make a decision, based on some of this information, whether it makes sense for your money to sit there or it doesn't. If it doesn't, don't put your money there, and then if it does make sense, then maybe consider. Nonetheless, yeah, it's your decision, it's your money. And then you can also just have a look at some of the markets that are offered by Probit by looking at this here. And then to check out the coin, you can also just put it here, and then so you'd put in the coin name like that, and then you click on it. And when you get there, you can just read about the coin and also look at its website, look at its explorers, look at its community, look at the source code, look at the charts, white paper, and all of those things, and then make up a decision whether it makes sense. Although if there are some like problems with the coin, like commingling of funds or whatever the case, it's difficult to pick it up from here. But it's worth a try to just have a look at what is the coin about, and just do some background search and understand what you're getting yourself into, and then go in knowing all the risks about this coin and all of that. But this is just an example of coins that are out there, and you can basically search for any coin here, so that take in for a ride, at least verify that the coin exists and the coin is a coin that is being scanned out there, for instance, by CoinMarketCap. Another one that you can use is this one called CoinGecko. It's a bit smaller than CoinMarketCap. It usually looks at coins that are smaller in terms of market cap, or new coins and stuff, but there are coins as well, so you can also use this one. But yeah, it's up to you. Point is, you need to do some digging around about the coin. Point is, you need to do some digging around about the exchanges before you decide to put some money there, because it's a risk. Exchanges can get hacked, exchanges can go like broke, they can also just run away with your money or whatever the case. The same goes with the coin. It can go defunct, and it can lose basically its listing status at exchanges, and you might not be able to sell out or whatever the case. But just do some research and understand what you're getting yourself into. That's the important thing. All right, cool. Now that we know how to do some basic research or background search about the coin and all of that, let's go back to Uphodl. So now we copied this bot. Now what we need to do is we need to find out how much Solana we need to buy and how much USDT we need to buy at these two exchanges. So when you copy this bot, it already has some settings. So the settings, you click on the bot again, and then they open up like this. You can see the name of the bot this is the time when we copied it. And then now what we need to do is we need to find out exactly how much of Solana and how much USDT we need to buy based on these numbers that are here. So kind of have to do reverse engineering now. In some situations, like when you go to the signals page, for instance, you'll be able to check how much you'll be able to check how much the people started with to run this bot. So like the one that we copied is this one. So we can see here that the people started with 1 sol and they started with 354 USDT. So in our case, since we're going hunting for a budget port for just 4,000 ZAR or around 220 USDT, of which, by the way, of the 220 USDT, we've used 16 USDT to buy some up volume. So now we're left with 204 USDT. So we need to still make that work. So this is not gonna work for us because we don't have 354 USDT. So if we had one Solana and 354 USDT, we're simply gonna basically put 300 USDT on one exchange, put 54 USDT on the other exchange, and then split up the Solana to 0.5 Solana at one exchange and 0.5 Solana on the other exchange. On Probit, 0.5 Solana on the trading account, and then on OKX 0.5 Solana, and then 54.152 USDT, and then at Probit we're gonna put 300 USDT or vice versa. It depends on where you want to start, or you can just split it half, which is gonna be 354 divided by 2, and then you put it at Probit. So 354 divided by 2, that will give us, let's see, so you'd put 177 USDT at Probit, and you'd put 177 USDT at OKX, and then you'd put 0.5 Solana at OKX and 0.5 Solana at Probit. That's how you would do it if you were just gonna use what they started with here as the numbers that you already have. But in our case, it's exciting times. We're going hunting for a budget bot of now 220 USDT. So we left with 204 USDT. So this is a bit much for us. Remember, from that same 204, we need to buy some Solana, and we need to split up this into USDT at Probit and USDT at OKX. So let's get started. So to do that, we come here and then we look at the taker trading fees on exchange 1, taker trading fees on exchange 2. So these fees here, these two combined, part of it, it's gonna be the taker fee. So let's first have a look at that. So if you look at the taker fees, you can see that already it's 0.5 plus 0.5 taker fees. So in total, the taker fees is it's basically 1%. So from that 1%, in most cases, what happens is when trades are executed at one exchange as a buy order, the coin that they take the fees from, it's the coin that you end up with after buying. So if you are buying Solana, they would take their 0.1% or 0.5% in this case from Solana. And then when you are selling, in most cases at exchanges, but you need to look at this as well, with when you sell, you left with USDT. So they take that 0.1% from the USDT that you end up with after selling. So that's thing that's very important here. So the taker fees here, when you combine them, they form 1%. This 1% covers the fees relating to buy orders. So that's very important. This combined looks at the fees relating to buy orders. So just know that. And then on other fees here, which are also the fees, we can see that the fee is also 1%. So these two, it's 1%, and then this one is 1%. So if you look at this, you will notice that the minimum spread target for this bot is actually 2%. So the other fees, this one, it takes and covers the fees of the sell orders. So in other words, this is going to be the USDT spread or margin that we're going to get out, and then from here they're going to take fees of USDT, which it will cover this exchange taker fees for our arbitrage, and that's for the USDT. So other fees, include the fees for taker fees for USDT in this case, or for coin 2, and then for the trading fees here combined, they are for the taker fees for Solana when we are buying. So it's for buy orders. So this is for buy orders. This is for sell orders. Basically, that's the thing that you need to understand there. So now when we're calculating, we know that we have 1% spread or margins that we have for paying for buy orders, and we know that we've got 1% spread here for margins for getting for covering for covering the sell orders. So that's what we know. So now that we know that this is for the taker fees for Solana, this will have to inform us how much every time that we buy Solana we need to make to be able to cover our fees overall. So one way to do that, we need to first find out from the exchanges whether these fees that have been put here are sufficient. So the first exchange that we go to is this one, exchange 1, which is the one on the left. It's OKX. Let's go find out what are the fees at OKX for us. So come here for OKX, click on my trading fees, and then let's have a look. Okay, so for OKX, my trading fees, we always focus on just the taker. So always focus on the taker fees. Don't focus on anything else. Taker fees are what you need to focus on, because in most cases, the bot is going to be a taker. So they're going to charge you taker fees. And if you've got some discount going on, when you're doing this calculation, remove that discount and just focus on the taker fee as a whole. So in this case, our taker fee is 0.1%. So if we were buying Solana here, they would charge us 0.1% of that Solana. So now that we know the taker fees are 0.1 at OKX, we need to find out at Probit, are the exchange fees higher for takers or are they the same? Because if they are higher, then in our calculations, we need to just use the Probit ones. So we just come here and we just look around for fees at Probit. Okay, so when we Google it, we can see that they say Probit trading fees are equal to 0.2% for all operations, but it's possible to lower them using discounts that are available for loyal users. This amount, okay, but anyways, we don't care about the discounts. What we care about is the maximum they're willing to charge us or able to charge us per trade, of which it's 0.2%. So we found that out by Googling, because there's no option that side. So now that we know that the actual fee that we should look at per trade is the maximum is 0.2%. So we put that there, and then we can see that we've got 0.8% to play around with. So now with that 0.8% to play around with, we need to now find out how much it costs to withdraw Solana, because now we're just focusing on buying Solana. Remember, these two, the taker trading fees here combined, they are covering the costs of buying Solana or buying coin 1, buying basically the coin that is here. Okay, so to do that, to check the withdrawal fees of Solana, what we do is we come to assets and we act as if we are withdrawing. Now this is going to help us calculate the cost of withdrawing Solana, because every time the 0.5 Solana finishes on one exchange, we need to withdraw it. So we need to find the highest withdrawal amount of the two, the same way that we found the highest with the highest taker fees. All right, and then we click on the withdraw, and then we choose Solana, and then we choose on chain, then we click next, and then here on OKX we click on the network name, and then where we're supposed to select, and we can see here that Solana withdrawals, we can see here that the Solana withdrawal fees is 0.008. So it means that our highest so far 0.008 withdrawal fees for Solana, and they're charging it in Solana. So now we need to find out whether Probit has got a fee that is higher than this or the same. So we go and do the same. Go to Probit, click on wallet. Then we act as though we are withdrawing as well. We choose Solana from the list of coins they have to withdraw. Okay, we can see that they currently have withdrawal of Solana suspended. So while this is happening, it means that we can't really withdraw any Solana from here. Alright, so if that's the case, it's better to just Google it. So just say Probit Solana withdrawal fees. Okay, so we can see here that Google is telling us that Solana withdrawal fees at Probit is 0.01 Solana. Alternatively, you can just go to coinmarketfees.com and then search for Probit and then choose it, and then it will show you the fees. So here they've got all the coins, they've got the network, and then they've got the withdrawal fees. So you just put in the coin here, which is Solana in this case, and then it filters this and tells you that the withdrawal fees is 0.01 Solana. Okay, so we can see here the taker fees is 0.5% and 0.5%. So in total, taker fees is 1%, which is more than enough to cover the buy fees of Solana on one exchange. So that is good. And here, the minimum amount of coin one per order, we have to test this. We have to make sure that these orders can go through at the exchanges when we're buying Solana. So we click here, and we also go to OKX. This we're gonna test whether come to Probit, we put Solana there, and then we choose it, choose the market, and then now see here what is the minimum that they want if we want to buy. So let's say we had to put that minimum. Does it allow? So let's just add a 0 here to make it almost impossible. So click on buy, and then you see it already tells you that the minimum amount must be at least 1 USDT. So let's have a look. If we put in the amount that is this side, which is the one here, we just copy it, and then we come this side, and then we just paste it like that. We can see down here that the minimum amount becomes 1.68468 USDT, which is more than the 1 USDT that they want. So this amount is valid at current prices. It's fine. We don't have to worry about it. So we put it as the minimum for now. Then we go to the other exchange. We do the same exercise to test to put Solana on that market, and we choose Sol USDT, and then we look at their minimum values that will show here. Okay, so for OKX it's nice because you don't even have to put in the amount to test here. They already tell you. See in this small gray, it says minimum sol is 0.01. So 0.01 is basically 0.01. It's less than this one. So this one is fine. So we take the maximum of the two as the minimum amount of coin one per order. So the maximum of the two is this one. So it's fine. And then the minimum amount of coin one per order is this one. So it's fine. We've got our amount exactly as it is. The maximum amount of coin one per order, it's 2. This number doesn't really it doesn't really matter much if you put a number that you don't have. It's okay because the system will only sell and buy what you already have. If you don't have that, it will not do it. So you can put 2 as well. But in most cases, the maximum amount of coin one per order, we usually put 10% of the total in circulation. So since the total in circulation in our case will most likely be 1 or something, we would put then 0.1, which is 10% of that one. So we'll put something like 0.1. So 10% is usually fine. But in this case, because it's a bot that we're copying, 2 is also fine. It's not a problem. Then the other fees, these are the fees that are supposed to cover the taker fees for USDT. It's 1%, which is fine as well, because we've seen earlier that the maximum of the two fees is actually the one at ProBit, which is 0.2%. 1% is more than enough to cover that. And then the arbitrage direction, it's both. So this one, we must just be careful here, because if the arbitrage direction is both, it means that you shouldn't really withdraw. And if you do withdraw and put it on the other side, you need to then do calculations to make sure that the amount that you're gonna withdraw is good enough, is gonna cover the fees, the withdrawal fees. So just be careful of that if you're gonna withdraw. And when you do withdraw, you might need more than the one Solana that they started with in this case. So just be careful of that. Okay, so to work out the minimum amount of Solana that we need, it's very simple. So we can go to OKX and find out what the withdrawal fee for Solana is. And then we can go to ProBit and find out the withdrawal fee of Solana, and then take the maximum of the two. When we find the maximum of the two, in this case, the maximum of the two, it's 0.01 Solana. That's how much they're going to charge us to withdraw. But now, when we look at the maximum of the two trading fees here, we see that the maximum is 0.2, right? So what happens now is that you will have to use a formula to tell you how much is the minimum amount of Solana you need if you're gonna do like withdrawals and stuff. And this amount needs to be on the other side of the exchange. So what I mean by the other side of the exchange, it means that that whole amount needs to be on the sell side of the exchange, so that you have bought enough to actually cover the fees. So what we do is the formula that we use to tell us how much we need is at minimum, it's this one. We take the amount of Solana, which is the maximum of the two withdrawal fees of the two exchange, and then you divide it by, in brackets, you take these two taker fees, you add them together. So that's going to be 1. And then you subtract the percentage. Remember, this is in percentage, right? So you basically subtract the percentage of the maximum of the two taker fees at the exchanges, of which we saw earlier. The maximum is 0.2%, which is gonna be from ProBit. And then now that you've got that, then it will tell you what is the minimum amount that you need to have passed through the arbitrage for it to cover the fees. So since this is in percentage inside, you need to divide it by 100 so that you pull it down to numbers. So this is the formula that you're gonna need to use. Basically, you say the amount of withdrawal fee as per the exchange, take the maximum of the two, in this case is the ProBit one, divide it by the, make sure that the numbers are numbers, not percentage, divide it by these two, you add them together to form 1, minus the taker fee, the maximum taker fee of the two exchanges, of which we saw at 0.2, and then divide it by 100, and then you say equals to, so this one is the amount, it's the actual amount of Solana that you need to have bought and sold to cover your fees. So this tells us that we need to have this much, but this is only on one exchange. So you can multiply this by 2, and then it tells you that the Solana that you need is actually minimum 2.5 if you're gonna withdraw, right? If you're gonna withdraw, it's 2.5. So just to summarize the formula, so the formula is gonna be this one. It's gonna be open bracket and then put in 0.01, which is the maximum of the two exchanges withdrawal fees to withdraw for Solana, and this is Solana, divide by open bracket 1%. This 1% we got it from adding these two numbers here, which is the taker fees. So you add both taker fees at the exchanges, and then you minus the actual maximum taker fee between the two exchanges, which is 0.2 at Probit, as we saw here, that the trading fee at Probit, as you can see for takers, it's 0.2%. So that's why we took that one and put it there, divide it by 100, and then close the bracket, close bracket again, and then multiply by 2. So you multiply it by 2 because whatever you're going to get inside here, you need to split it in half between the two exchanges. So it's equals 2. So you can see that we need 2.5 Solana. So with this 2.5 Solana, we're going to take 1.25, put it at OKX. We're going to take 1.25, put it at Probit. So now the question is, how much is 2.5 Solana? Because we've got a budget of 204 USDT right now. All right, cool. Let's find out. Currently, the price of Solana, we can see between the two exchanges. If we want to buy it here, we want to buy it at 20.1. If we want to buy it this side, we're going to buy it at around 19.850. So obviously we want to buy where it's cheaper. So let's just put in there 19.9. Now let's put 19.9 is the price. Multiply by 19.9. So it means that we'll use 49.75 USDT to buy our Solana. Roughly, let's just like round it off and say we'll use 50 USDT to buy our Solana. So it means that from that budget of 204, all of a sudden, now we're left with 154. That's how much it is. That's how much we need to spend. So we go ahead and buy Solana and then send it here to Probit and buy Solana and then send it here to OKX so that we have some Solana here and so that we have some Solana there. So send 1.25 this side and then send 1.25 Solana this side as well. And then that would mean we are left with 154 USDT to do the arbitrage. So now the same applies for the USDT. If you want to withdraw, then you need to calculate how much it needs to be. But if you're not going to withdraw and just let the bot buy and sell, when it finishes one side and then the trend of arbitrage changes, it does now the sell and buy, then you don't need to withdraw. It will just do that seesaw until the money is there. You will miss probably lots of orders, but yeah, you just make sure that you're on the right side, you don't lose any money. That's the important thing. So if you want to withdraw, then we have to look at how much minimum we need to actually cover our withdrawal fees. So we do the same thing again. We do that with that same formula. So you take the same formula, you look at how much is to withdraw USDT. What is the maximum of the two to withdraw USDT? So to do that, you can come to this here, and then you put in USDT, and then you can see USDT has got options here. So the most common option is TRC20. And with TRC20, you can see the withdrawal fee. They're saying it's 1 USDT at Probit. That's what they're saying here, but I don't trust them. So I'm just going to go to Probit, go to wallet, and have a look at it for myself there. So if we're going to act as if we're withdrawing USDT, let's have a look how much it will be. So it's this one, TRC20. Okay, it looks like pretty much everything on Probit today is under maintenance. So we have to go with this one to rely on. Okay, so let's take it 1 USDT as it is. Then what we need to do is put it in this formula. So put 1 there, and then this remains the same because it's 1%. This is 1% here as well. So we leave it as is, and then obviously the taker fee of both, the maximum taker fee, it's still 0.2%. So we leave it like that, and then we find out, we multiply it by 2. So we just say equals 2, and then we can see that the minimum we need to do withdrawals is actually 250 USDT, of which we don't have. Because remember, we're hunting for a bargain bot. So we are only left with 154. So we can't afford to withdraw USDT between the two exchanges, because if we're going to withdraw, we're going to have to withdraw 250 USDT. Otherwise, we're going to start making losses. That's one way. Another way is that we can increase this 1% to make it fit this 154. So the question is, how do we do that? How we do that is we find out what is 1 divided 1, by the way, it's the withdrawal fee for 1 USD for USDT at Probit. Oh yeah, we also need to just double check with the withdrawal fees of USDT at OKX. We just assumed that the withdrawal fee at Probit for USDT is gonna be the same as that of OKX, which is incorrect. Okay, we can see the withdrawal fees are the same, so it's 1 USDT here as well. So that's fine. So this still stands. It's 1 that we're gonna put there, and then we're gonna divide it by the amount that we have, which is 154 USDT. But we know that we're not gonna withdraw all the 154 USDT at the same time, because this is not a one direction kind of setup. So we know that it's gonna be 154 divided by 2. So in most cases, we're gonna want to split it half-half. So that's why we divide the total in circulation, which is 154 by 2. And then let's find out how much percentage this will be. So put in a bracket there, and then multiply by 100. Okay, so what this tells us is that we need to increase our 1% fee here to be 1.2987. So just to round it off, it will be 1.3. In other words, we need to add 0.3 here. So other fees all of a sudden cannot be less than 1.3. But remember, this 1.3 is just to withdraw half of what we of the USDT that we have. So now we still have those taker fees that need to be covered here, and we probably need to add like some amount for using a portal, which is like 0.1%. So this 1.3, it's the minimum if you want to withdraw. So we need to add those other fees. So the other fees we saw that at Probit, they charge 0.2 taker fees. If you're going to be selling USDT, you need to have that 0.2. So we add it there. And then we're going to put some 0.1 for our portal. So we're going to also put 0.1 for our own profits now. And then all of a sudden, that 1.3 becomes 1.7. So actually, we need to put 1.7 if we're going to withdraw. So now it pushes our minimum spread target to 2.7%, of which means that we might no longer be able to meet or make this APY, because our spread, we kind of pushed ourselves out of the spread target market that this bot managed to generate this much at. So we kind of like pushed ourselves out. But nonetheless, if you're going to do a bi-directional one, you will need to be able to do this with the amount of Solana that you have and also the amount of USDT that you have. So this bot is our budget bot. Yeah, so you click on create bot like that, and then the bot will definitely be updated with the new numbers. So this is definitely a budget bot that you can use for 204 USDT after paying for up volume. So your total budget that you started with is 220 USDT. So now you can basically now go connect OKX and go connect Probit after you've sent in the balances of Solana and also USDT to the exchanges. So what you will send at the exchange, it's basically 154 USDT divided by 2. So you'll send 77 USDT at OKX and 77 USDT at Probit, and then you will send 1.25 Solana at OKX and 1.25 Solana at Probit. Before you connect the exchanges, those coins need to be there, and they need to be on the spot or trading account of those exchanges. Okay, now let's get started in connecting the exchanges via APIs. So to connect the exchanges via APIs, all we need to do is go to the exchanges themselves and then just look for the option that says API. So here it is, API management. You click on that, and then we do the same for OKX. You look for API somewhere. So here's API. You click on it as well. Then you come to Arbitrage, and then you click on the exchanges tab, and then you'll be put here. You can see already we have connected Binance and CoinX, but now we need to connect OKX and Probit. So let's start with Probit. So we come on this list of exchanges, and then we choose Probit. Where is Probit? Alphabetical order. Here's Probit. And then now we need to put its API key there. Come here, you give the API label. So in this case, it's abhodl. That's the label. And then you click create new key like that. Then you verify your email. You go get the code and you put it here. Copy it, come back this side, paste it, submit. And now you verify your OTP. This is most likely on your app. You open up your app on your phone, type in the number, click submit, and then it allows you to basically be here. So when you are here, for our sake, because we want the API to also withdraw on our behalf, we're gonna also give it this permission of withdrawal allowed. It already has a read, which is very important. It will have trading because it needs to complete arbitrages. And we can already see here the client ID is this, and the client secret key is this. So we're just gonna take this ID, copy it, and then we paste it here, and then we're gonna come take the secret key, copy it, and then paste it here as well. And that's basically it for the pasting. And then now we just come and quickly edit this. We're gonna give it the withdrawal permission, and then it says here API withdrawals can only be made to addresses registered in the withdrawal address management section, of which we will do. And then we need to address IP address restriction. We need to make sure that this is restricted. So to do that, you take this IP address that is given to you up here, this, come and put it here, paste it, and then you press enter. Then you go and get the second one, just the numbers and the full stops. Be careful of the square brackets, don't copy them, just copy the numbers there. So both IP addresses are here now. What this does is that even if someone takes this API, like you're watching this right now, you might want to take this and try to do trades on my behalf. It won't work because we've restricted it by IP address. So the trades can only work if you're on the same server as me yeah, or you've got the same IP address somehow, but there's only one IP address per server in the world, so it's unique. You click confirm, okay, and then you paste it, and then since it's the last one, you click confirm, and now all the IP addresses are there, as you can see. So that is done, and we can click on edit complete because we just finished the edit, and then we have to verify again. Copy this, come and paste it here like this, submit, OTP verify, you go to your app, press enter, and that's it. Your client ID and secret key is finished, and then now you can come this side and click connect to connect it. So there we go. Congratulations, Propit is now connected and it's now live, so we're closer to deploying our bot. So now we're gonna connect the next exchange, which is OKX. So here we click and then we look alphabetical order, looking for OKX, and here's OKX. Now we need to put in the API key for OKX. So we come to OKX and we click again, create API key. We come here, we click create API key, and then we put in the name, it's Abhodl. And then for OKX, we need to put in the passphrase. So the passphrase needs to be what we put down here, where it's passphrase here. That's what we need to do. So when you type in your passphrase, so it says it already exists. So when you put in your passphrase here, you must make sure you come and put the exact passphrase here. And then you restrict the IPs. So you copy this IP address like this, come and paste it here, into separate it by commas according to the instructions here, as you can see. So you must read the instructions of the exchanges. So separate by a comma. Then you go put the next one. Then we need to give it read, write, withdraw, and trade. So we click confirm. Then send email code as well. Get the email code, we copy it, paste it here. Then authentication app, we go to the app and we look through it. And then once we find it, then we put it here, 176362 confirm. And then we can see here our API keys, copy them, copy API key, be careful of empty spaces, and then we paste it here. Then you go copy the secret, and then you also paste it here. It's pasted. And then now, before you click connect on Abhodl, you need to click on confirm this side so that it's now part of the IP, so that now it's basically on your list of APIs. And then you click connect this side, and there you go, exchange connected successfully. So now we've got OKX connected, we've got Propit connected, so all of them have been connected now. All right, because we are done here connecting exchanges, we can go back to bots and just have a look. Oh, okay, wait. Yeah, this name of the bot is so bland. I don't like it. It's 17 something something. So I'm just gonna go click on it again, and I'm gonna change the name of it. I'm gonna call it something cool. Soul man. That's what I'm gonna call it. My name of this bot, the name of my bot is gonna be I'm a soul man. So that's a cooler name, obviously. So yeah, I'm a soul man. Then I'm gonna click on bots. And then you can see now both are existing. The one with the bland name and the I'm a soul man one, which is the cool one. So we're gonna remove this bland name on because we don't like bland things, we like cool things. So yeah, I'm a Soulman is my bot. But before I deploy this bot, I'm just gonna go check whether my exchanges have got the correct balances before I do that. So before we turn on this bot, we have a look at the balances at the exchanges to confirm that the coins are greater than 0 for the coin pair that we've chosen, which is Solana USDT. So we start with OKX. You can see that the available Solana is 1.25 and the available USDT is 77, which is exactly what we calculated for our budget bot. Remember, we went for bargain hunting where we had a budget of 220 USDT, 16 USDT was used for buying up volume, and then now we used around I think it was 50 USDT to buy 2.5 Solana, and then we were left with 154 USDT, of which we split half. So the other exchange will also have the same amount or roughly the same amount minus costs, and it will also have the same amount. Let's just quickly have a look at that exchange. So on Probit, we can see that we have this much USDT and the Solana balance is also 1.25. So now we are ready to deploy this bot. So we click on this orange circle to deploy it once. So you just click it like this and then let it run. And the bot is now deployed, as you can see. So we can click on it to actually see more details about this bot. So you click on it like this, and then you come to its dashboard, and you could scroll down and scroll down, and you can see that the name of it is I'm a Soulman. And then as soon as the bot keeps on running, you'll start seeing more orders coming through into this table down here. And you can only see that once you refresh this page here. So when you scroll down, you can have a look and see now this table is starting to populate. As you can see, the bot, spread, status, time. So the name of the bot is I'm a Soulman, and the latest checks that it has done, they are not favorable. Remember, our spread target is 2.7. So here, when it shows this, it shows that it has found that the price difference is not 2.7 at the exchanges. So the status is it skipped it because it doesn't want to lose us money. It skips all of those, and the latest checks, you can see, are appearing here, the times, and it tells you the sell wallet balance is 1.25 Solana that wants to sell, and it tells you the sell amount, which is 0.428. In other words, if it was to sell something, it had found something, the order book has an amount of 0.4248 Solana to be sold, and the price that they would be sold at, it would have been this, and then my buy wallet balance, which is on the other exchange. So these first three columns here, which are starting with sell, they are for one exchange, and then the ones that are for buy, they are for the other exchange of which the arbitrage is supposed to occur. So this shows that it has 77 USDT, as we had put half of the USDT that we have, and we've put half of the Solana that we have. And then at the order book, what it found is that there was an order of 24 Solana. So if it was to buy, it would potentially buy the minimum of the two. So it would have bought this one because the minimum of the buy and sell, you can see that this one is smaller, so this would be the one that matches. And then the buy price that it would have bought it at is this much, but obviously the buy price, it's much bigger than the sell price, so this is why it has skipped this order. But basically this is where now all the orders will show, and then once there's one that has been placed, this status will change from skipped to placed, and then it will appear in the top of the table. So that's basically that. We have done the deployment of our bot, our budget bot. So we've hunted it, found it, and now we've bagged it once it's running. So to do that, to do the coin balancing, click on bots. Then our bot is here. Then here where it says balance coins, you click on it, and then you can see here we see a new screen. So this screen is supposed to, in this case, for instance, this first one, it's supposed to withdraw Solana from OKX, and then it's supposed to send it to this address that we're going to put here. And that address that we're going to put here, it's going to be the Probit address. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to go whitelist these addresses. So the address to be whitelisted for OKX is supposed to be at OKX. We're going to whitelist that, and then we're going to whitelist the USDT address at OKX as well. So this address is going to be the Probit address, but it's going to be whitelisted at OKX. The same with this one. The address here that's supposed to go here, it's the OKX address, and it's going to be for Solana, and it's going to be withdrawing from Probit. So we're going to be whitelisting this at Probit. The same with this one, the USDT. So first things first, we go to OKX and we do the whitelist. But to do that, we need to also go to Probit to get this address, that if we want to deposit into Probit, what is the deposit address? So let's do that. We know that we need to withdraw from OKX, we need to withdraw Solana. Now we need to find out exactly what network OKX recognizes Solana to be withdrawn from. So we go to OKX. When we get to OKX, we act as if we are withdrawing, Solana, so that you can have a look at some of the networks that they have as options. We can see Solana is there. That's the network we need to choose on Abhodl. So we go to Abhodl, we choose from the list of networks available, spot Solana, and then we choose it. And then now the withdrawal address that we need to send this Solana to should be an address that is of Probit. So let's go find it out at Probit. What is the deposit address for Solana? And make sure that the network that we choose at Probit is exactly the same as the network address at OKX. So we search for Solana here, find it, load, let the system load. And then it tells us that the deposit address is that, and the Solana network is recognized this side. So we copy that address, the deposit address, go back to our portal, then we paste the address into the withdraw sol to this address, and then withdrawal address tag. Is there any tag? We see that there's no tag. Then we go back to our portal, then we put in null, NULL, capital letters, all of it. Then we withdraw a total sol of, then we put 1.25. And then when the total sol balance at OKX reaches, we need to do some calculations on this. Usually we put 95% as the rule of thumb of the total in circulation. So let's pull out the calculator and do some numbers. So it's 2.5 multiplied by 0.95, which is pretty much 95%. So let's find out what the answer is. And we can see that it tells us that 95% of 2.5 is 2.375. That's what we take and put there. So every time we will withdraw 1.25 of Solana whenever the sol balance at OKX reaches 2.375. Then we turn the status on and then we click save. All right, so the next one now is to withdraw USDT from OKX. We have to do the same thing again. Find out what the USDT network is at OKX. The blockchain type or network, it's still okay. Go to OKX to do that. Act as if we're withdrawing as well. We choose USDT this time around. On chain. Next. And then we can see the list of networks that are available for withdrawing USDT at OKX. One of them is TRC20, which is the desired one that we would like. This is also common as a receiving address on Probit. So TRC20 is the one that we're going to go with. Then we're going to go back to our portal. Then we're going to look for TRC20 on the list of network drop down menu, and the format needs to be TRC20. Can't be TRX like you just saw now. It was TRX, but we had to choose TRC20, and then we look for the deposit address, go to Probit and search for USDT. Select network. From the list, you need to select a network that is common on both, which is TRC20. So there we go. And then we copy that deposit address. We're going to take it to a hodl, and then we're going to paste it there. Then withdrawal tag. There's no withdrawal tag. So we go back. Then we put null. Withdraw a total USDT amount of. So here we've got a total in circulation of 154 USDT. So we need to do half of that, which is basically 77. So we know that when we have that much, we just need to withdraw half of it. And then when total USDT balance at OKX reaches 95% of the total 154 USDT we have, we need to ask the hodl to trigger a withdrawal. So we multiply that by 0.95. Then that gives us 146.3 USDT. We take that, we paste it there. Then we turn the status on. We know that when 146.3 is the balance at OKX, then it will do a withdrawal. We can also just put 95% and multiply by 154 just to show that it's actually 95%. That's the rule of thumb. And then click save. And that's it. That's basically the balancing of OKX, USDT, and Solana. Okay, now that we've put on the status for balancing OKX Solana and OKX USDT, we can see the addresses, the withdrawal addresses, they need to be now whitelisted so that the withdrawal can occur, because as much as the addresses are put here and whitelist mode is enabled at OKX, the withdrawal will not occur. We need to go to OKX, and then we need to add these addresses on the list of whitelisted addresses so that the hodl is able to withdraw. So as you can see here, whitelist mode is enabled, which is good. Make sure that you also enable it so that you can protect your coins from being withdrawn unauthorized. So here we choose USDT TRC20 as the network because that's what the address this side is for TRC20. So we take that, we copy it, go back to OKX, then we paste it there in the address field, and then we name it, can name it Probit USDT TRC20 or just TRX. And then make sure that you save as verified address to skip future verification so that the bot is able to withdraw. Then you click send code to receive the code on your email. Go grab the code on your email, copy the code from your email, and go to OKX, paste the code, and then look at the authentication app, put in the code on the authentication app, click confirm. Then there we go. The address is now whitelisted at OKX. So if a hodl sees that the balance at OKX is now 146.3 USDT, it will withdraw 77 USDT and send it to Probit. So as you can see, these are the settings for the withdrawal to work. 146.3 total balance, then it withdraws 77. You can see it's whitelisted. And now we have to do the same for Solana, the Solana address. So we copy that Solana address as well. Go to OKX, add it as a new address, search for Solana, find it. Next, on chain, and then click on that to add it as a new address. You can see by default is only Solana as a withdrawal network. So you just paste the address there, put in the name of the address, Probit. Solana. Save as verified address to skip future verification. Send code. Go to your email, copy that code, paste it. Go to Authenticator app and start typing your code. Confirm. And then there you go. Solana address is now added. So now when Abhodl tries to withdraw using that Solana address at OKX when the balance of Solana is 2.375, it will be allowed and it will withdraw 1.25 Solana. All right, now we do the withdrawal of Solana from Probit, and we need to find out what the network is. So we go to Probit, we act as if we're withdrawing. We choose on the list, select Solana, and we can see that the Solana blockchain type is actually called Solana, which is a good thing, regardless of the fact that it's now suspended. What we care about is that the Solana network is Solana. That's what its name is. We come to Abhodl, then we choose from the list, select Solana, and then we need to go OKX because as much as we're withdrawing from Probit, we need to know to which address we need to withdraw to. So go to OKX, click on deposit, choose there Solana network, and there it does say ensure you have selected the same network as the sending platform for this deposit, otherwise you lose your assets. So this is a very important message. Please read and read and read. Click OK. Very important. Before we copy the address, we need to know that this needs to deposit into the trading account, not the funding account, because the bot needs to continue as it gets more of the Solana that is ran out. So now that we change that, click on copy. Then we copy this address, put it on Abhodl, paste it, and then withdrawal address tag. Let's have a look. The address tag, there's no address tag, so we go back to Abhodl, then we put null there, and then withdraw a total sol amount of. So this sol amount needs to be the same as the one that is on OKX, which is 1.25. The reason that is because we decided to go for a bot that balances half-half. So that's why we put 1.25 here as well. And then this needs to happen when the total balance at Probit reaches 2.375, which is exactly the same settings that you see on OKX. Click on status on, click on save, and that's it. You've done basically a configuration. And now, done for balancing Solana on Probit. We can also just quickly pull out a calculator and do calculations here. You will see here that when the balance is 2.375, that is 95% of the total in circulation. So as you can see, we say 2.5 multiplied by 0.95, then we see that the answer is 2.375. It's exactly the same as we worked out for OKX withdrawal. We do the same for Probit because we want a balanced bot. Next one, we're going to do the USDT one. ERC20 USDT, click next. Then this one by default, it's depositing to the trading, which is good. And now we just copy the address, go to Abhodl, then paste the address. And the network, we need to make sure the network is the same format as the one that is recognized by Probit. So we come back to Probit and we search for USDT to see what address format they have here. So we choose, we can see they have TRC20 on as well. It could be any one of these. So let's go to Abhodl and see which option is available on Abhodl. Look at that list of USDT networks. And then we can see that there is one that is TRC20. We're going to choose TRC20. Then withdrawal address tag, there's none. Is there? There's none. So we go back to Abhodl, go back to Abhodl, then we put in null, then withdraw total USDT amount of, it's going to be the same, it's going to be 77 because our bot is a balancing bot, so we put 77. Then again, the total is going to be the same as well, 146.3. And we click on the status on, then we click on save, and it's done. So the calculations for this, you can pull out a calculator. We basically have a total in circulation of 154. We want to withdraw whenever the balance on one side reaches 95%, and 95% is 146.3 USDT. What we want to do here is that we need to withdraw basically 77. We can see 95% is basically of 154 is 146.3. So that's what we want to do. And basically we need to make sure that these addresses as well, they are whitelisted at Probit. So to do the whitelist at Probit, we go to my page and then it's under API management. We click on that and see that option there, withdrawal address management. Click on it and then click add. Then we choose the currency that we want to whitelist the address for, which is Solana in this case. Then we put in the nickname, can put in Abhodl TRX Sol. Then we paste that withdrawal address that we have there. Then we click confirm. Then you go to your email, you grab the confirmation code. Go back to Abhodl, paste the confirmation code. And then verify on your app. Check your app and put in the code there. That's it. We've basically whitelisted the Solana network address on Probit now. So if Abhodl tries to withdraw from Probit, it will work now. And it will work with that address. So it should only withdraw to this address that is shown. Now we do the one for USDT. We copy the address. Then we go to Probit. Then we add. Then we choose from the list USDT. And then we choose the correct network, which is TRC20. Then you can put a name. And paste the address. Click save. And it asks you to confirm. So you just copy the verification code. Email. Paste verification code. That's it. Then you go now to confirm with your app. Put in the confirmation code with your app. Google Authenticator most likely. Put the number generated there. And that's it. Now you've also whitelisted the withdrawal of USDT through that address. So Abhodl will now be able to balance your coins for you, both at OKX, at Probit, and for both coins, Solana and USDT. Will be able to do the balancing for you. So whenever one side reaches 95% of the total circulation, it will withdraw half the initial total circulation and send it to the other side so that your bot never stops. It keeps on going on and you can exploit the arbitrage opportunities for as long as it exists. You don't have to do anything, literally. You just go to sleep and the withdrawals will work as set. They will be automated. Everything is automated here. and it will automatically do the withdrawals as per your settings that you've put here. So you have now successfully balanced your bot. Our hunt is finished. We managed to create a bot that can work on just 220 USDT, or around 4,000 ZAR, or around 203 euros. So congratulations in that regard, and thank you for staying until the end.